Don't you dare tell us to cancel our plans again. My mother's voice thundered through the phone, ricocheting off the sterile walls of my hospital room. We've had these Elton John tickets for months. I sat there frozen, my trembling hands clutching the device like a lifeline. It was Christmas Eve at Las Vegas Medical Center. And the scene was bleak, just me, my 2-year-old twins, Liam and Sophie, stacking blocks in the corner, and a nurse named Rachel quietly checking my chart. The pain in my gut was unbearable, like a jagged blade twisting deeper with every breath. But my mother's cold indifference on that video call sliced even worse. I'm Lauren Carter, 33. And I've spent my life as the invisible thread in my family's tapestry. My younger sister, Mia, was the shining star, the one who could do no wrong. Me? I was the shadow they barely noticed. Now, here I was, begging them to watch their only grandkids while I faced emergency surgery, complications tied to my husband's death 6 months earlier, and all they cared about was their precious concert. You're becoming a real burden, Lauren, my dad snapped, his words sharper than any scalpel. We're retired. We deserve to enjoy our lives without your endless drama. For 3 years, I've been sending them $2,500 a month to cover their mortgage and bills since they took early retirement. Even after losing David, my husband, I kept it up out of love, duty, whatever you call that tangled mess of loyalty. How naive I'd been. As tears slipped onto my hospital blanket, Rachel rested a hand on my shoulder. My friend Sarah's a nanny who works with traumatized kids, she said softly. Let me call her for you. Her kindness stood in stark contrast to my parents' callousness. Liam and Sophie were too little to grasp the chaos. They'd already lost their dad to a drunk driver. Now they might lose me if this surgery went south. That fear clawed at me. But not as fiercely as the thought of leaving them with people who saw them as inconveniences. Yes, call her, I told Rachel, my voice firm despite the pain. With that, I started severing the toxic roots of the family that raised me but never truly saw me. Memories flooded in, years of being sidelined while Mia soaked up the spotlight. My college graduation with honors, barely a nod because Mia landed a commercial that weekend. My wedding to David, they griped about the drive. When the twins were born, they visited once, muttering about fussy babies. David had been my anchor, a man who knew the sting of family rejection himself. We'll make our own family, he promised. And we did, until that drunk driver stole him away, leaving me drowning in grief and bills. Even then, I kept supporting my parents, upping the amount when they whined about inflation. I wanted to prove family mattered. Irony's a cruel thing, though. Here I was bleeding internally, and they couldn't skip one night of sequins and piano riffs to help. Rachel returned with good news. Sarah would be there soon. She's incredible with kids, she assured me. Used to work with trauma cases. How much? I rasped, already buried under medical debt. Focus on surgery, Rachel replied. We'll figure it out. But I couldn't stop thinking about that $2,500 I planned to send my parents next week. Money that could now secure care for my kids. A spark ignited. A long-dormant instinct to fight for myself. When Sarah arrived, she was a whirlwind of warmth, instantly winning over Liam and Sophie. As they wheeled me to the OR, I grabbed my phone one last time. 2 messages, one to my bank, canceling all future transfers, the second to my parents, I'm done funding you. My kids and I deserve more than being your afterthoughts. Don't contact me. Surgery went well, but recovery was brutal. I spent 5 days fading in and out, Sarah stepping up to juggle the twins between hospital and home. My phone buzzed incessantly, 27 missed calls. Texts from my parents and Mia. Predictable stages. Confusion, rage, then pleas about their mortgage. Not one asked about my health or the kids. My dad's final text? You can't cut us off. We've got a cruise next month, non-refundable. Mia's were different. Mom and Dad said it was a minor thing. What's happening? It hit me they'd lied to her, downplaying my crisis to excuse their selfishness. I texted Mia the truth, groggy but determined. Her reply was instant. Oh my God, Lauren, I had no idea it was emergency surgery. They said you were overreacting. I'd have taken the kids if I'd known. I'm so sorry. I believed her. Mia wasn't heartless, just molded by parents who put her on a pedestal. Maybe this could crack her illusions too. Discharged, I made moves, hired Sarah part-time, drafted a will naming a friend as guardian, not my parents, and blocked their numbers. Leaving Mia a cautious line. That $2,500 a month. Nearly a third of my graphic design income. Suddenly freed up breathing room for childcare and an emergency fund gutted by David's death. That night, with the twins asleep, Mia texted, "I just fought with Mom and Dad about you. I'm at a hotel. Can we talk tomorrow?" Maybe I wasn't as alone as I'd thought. 2 weeks later, I was hobbling but healing. Sarah was a godsend, and my clients were patient with my slow pace. Mia visited, bringing food and bonding with the twins. "They always said you pulled away," she confessed one night, watching Liam stack blocks. "I didn't see they were shoving you out." Then came the inevitable knock. Through the peephole, my parents, Mom clutching her purse, Dad radiating impatience. I cracked the door. "What do you want?" "Lauren, honey, we've been worried sick," Mom cooed, her syrupy tone setting off alarms. "You're fine then?" I asked coolly. "No." Dad cut in, nudging the door. "We need to talk money. The bank called about the mortgage. We had to tap cruise savings. Their gall was staggering. No house recovery? Just cash demands." "I'm done," I said. "But we rely on you," Mom whined. "You adjusted your lifestyle expecting my money forever?" I shot back. "I almost died and you picked a concert over my kids." Their silence screamed louder than words. "One mistake," Mom whispered theatrically. "Not one," I said, calm now. "A lifetime. I'm not your ATM. I'm a mom who'd never abandon my kids like you did me." Sophie toddled up, clutching her bunny. Mom swooped in. "Grandma's here, sweetie." Sophie shrank back, unsure. "They don't know you," I said. "Leave." I shut the door. Next morning they returned with Aunt Clara, Mom's peacemaking sister. "Be reasonable, Lauren," she pleaded outside. "They're struggling." "They chose retirement knowing their savings were thin," I replied through the wood. "We counted on you," Mom wailed. "I'm recovering and raising twins. This ends now." I walked away as they knocked. Later, Dad's group email to the family painted me as a heartless daughter who ditched them after their sacrifices. No mention of my surgery or their concert stunt. But it backfired. Cousin Jake replied, "Didn't you just buy a boat, Uncle Tom?" Others messaged me for the real story. Even Aunt Clara called. Stunned. They said it was routine. I didn't know. Mia helped me send a simple reply. "I had emergency surgery with risks. They refused to watch my kids for a concert. I'm focusing on healing and my family." Support poured in: meals, babysitting offers, Mia stepping up. Rachel linked me to a widows group. My first Zoom meeting felt like a lifeline. Meanwhile, my parents' finances crumbled. They'd blown cash on luxuries, banking on me forever. Jessica found they'd taken a second mortgage for that boat. "They're not broke, just overspent," she marveled. Their begging texts faded as I rebuilt, a real community rising from their ashes. A month post-surgery, their house faced foreclosure. 60 days to pay or it's gone, Mia reported. "Retirement funds?" I asked, bouncing Sophie. "Shot, boat and a bad investment." Their text turned shameless. "We thought you'd cave," Mom admitted. Furious, I thrived, selling my cramped apartment with help from Diana, a widow friend, for a house with a yard. My memorial website side gig took off, easing my workload and fueling purpose. They showed up again, debts in hand. $144,000 to save the house. "Sell the boat," I said. "A loss," Dad grumbled. "Luxuries you can't afford," I countered. "You owe us," he insisted. "For what?" I asked. Liam and Sophie wandered in. Mom reached, but they clung to me. "You're strangers to them," I said. "You'll survive losing a house." I survived losing David. They left, deflated. 3 months later, they sold the house, downsized to a condo, dumped the boat and timeshare. "They blame you," Mia said. I shrugged. Family rallied, neighbors, widows, Mia, while my parents faded. 6 months out, Mom's letter arrived, an apology. "I was jealous of your strength. We failed you. I'm sorry. Therapy, Dad's job, no please, just regret." Mia confirmed Dad's health scare had shifted him too. I wasn't sold yet. A year later, I met them at a cafe. They looked smaller, humbler. Dad wept. "I've been awful." Mom added, "Therapy's changing us." I shared twin pics, not promises. "Can we know them someday?" Dad asked. "Prove it with actions," I said. Walking away, I felt no guilt or rage, just certainty. I'd built a life boundaries firm worth unshakable. Their change? Time would tell. Mine? Already done.